He was already inside me, buried to the hilt, his entire body trembling with every slow, deliberate thrust. Not rushed, not brutal, just deep, measured, almost reverent, like he was afraid the moment might shatter if he moved too quickly, yet completely unable to pull away or stop. His strong hands braced against the mattress on either side of my shoulders, arms flexing and shaking with restraint, his breath ragged and catching in his throat like he was fighting for air. I could feel every thick inch of him stretching me, filling me completely, the heat of his skin against mine searing. The sheer weight of what we were doing pressed down on both of us, wrong, forbidden, irreversible. And still, I arched my back and pulled him closer. My legs locked tighter around his hips, heels digging into the small of his back, urging him even deeper. My nails raked down his shoulders, leaving faint red trails as he let out a low, guttural groan against the sensitive skin of my neck. I didn't whisper for him to stop. I didn't want him to. His forehead dropped to rest against mine, our sweat-slicked skin touching, breaths mingling in hot, uneven pants in the narrow space between our lips. His mouth grazed my jaw, then my earlobe, and in a hoarse, broken whisper he said, "You don't know what this is doing to me, what you're doing to me." But I did know. I knew exactly. And the truth was, I didn't care anymore, because the ache inside me matched his, burning just as fiercely. I wanted this betrayal as badly as he did. I never thought I'd cross this line. Not with him. Not with David, my best friend Melanie's ex-husband. The man I'd known for almost 20 years. The one who used to sit across from me at holiday dinners, laughing at my terrible jokes while Melanie rolled her eyes affectionately. The one whose arm used to rest casually around her shoulders at backyard barbecues, while I pretended not to notice how perfectly they fit together. And now he was here, deep inside my body, trembling with guilt and need, and I was greedily taking every single inch of him, savoring the way he filled the emptiness I'd ignored for years. I'm 41 now, divorced for 6 years. No children. Most days, I tell myself I'm fine with it, content, even. My apartment stays tidy, my wine rack is never empty, my dating apps have been deleted for ages. I volunteer twice a week at the local library, shelving books and recommending novels to strangers. I reply to texts hours late. I've grown used to the silence that settles in after 9 p.m. I convinced myself it was peace. Until David made me notice everything again. It began innocently enough, a simple favor. Melanie called me one rainy afternoon, voice tight, and asked if David could swing by to pick up a cardboard box of her old things I'd been storing since their messy divorce. "I can't face him," she said. "It's just a box. Please." I should have said no. I should have made an excuse. But I didn't. He showed up on my doorstep looking worn down, older than the last time I'd seen him at a mutual friend's wedding 2 years earlier. His dark hair was longer now, curling slightly at the ends, and there were new lines around his eyes. But those eyes, they were softer, sadder, more honest than when he was still playing the part of the perfect husband. He gave me a small, hesitant smile, like he wasn't sure he was allowed to anymore. We talked in the doorway at first. It was supposed to be quick, hand over the box, polite goodbye. But 5 minutes stretched into an invitation inside for coffee. Coffee became a glass of red wine. 1 glass became 2, then 3. We avoided saying Melanie's name directly, circling around it like it was a live wire that could burn us both. That first night, nothing physical happened. But something shifted irreversibly. I caught the way his gaze lingered when I laughed, how his knee stayed pressed lightly against mine on the couch, how I absent-mindedly smoothed my hair before answering the door the next time. He came back 3 days later. Claimed he'd forgotten his phone charger. We both knew it was a lie. I let him in anyway. This time we didn't bother sitting at opposite ends of the couch. Our arms brushed. The silence between us wasn't uncomfortable. It was electric, heavy, humming with unspoken want. And then it snapped. He kissed me first, soft, tentative, like he was testing if I'd push him away. I didn't. When he pulled back, eyes wide with sudden panic, I closed the distance and kissed him harder. My fingers curled into the hair at the nape of his neck. His hands gripped my waist like I might disappear if he let go. His breath stuttered against my lips, shocked and hungry all at once. We didn't make it to the bedroom that night. Clothes came off in the living room, frantic and clumsy. But the next time he came over, 2 nights later, we did. And now here we are. His body locked with mine, hips rolling in a slow, desperate rhythm that felt both uncertain and inevitable. Every time he sank deeper, a quiet hiss escaped between his teeth, like the pleasure was fighting the guilt inside him. I arched up to meet him, Skin sliding against skin, my hands roaming his back, his sides, memoizing the feel of him. His mouth found my collarbone, then lower, lips and tongue tracing paths that made me gasp. "Tell me to stop," he murmured against my breast, voice raw. "Tell me and I will." I threaded my fingers through his hair instead, guiding his mouth back to mine. "Don't you dare," I whispered. He groaned, a deep, broken sound, and thrust harder, burying himself completely again and again. The bed creaked beneath us. My legs trembled around him. Sweat slicked every place we touched. In that moment, the guilt was still there, lurking in the corner of the room like a shadow, but the want was louder, stronger. It drowned everything else out. And I let it. We kept going until neither of us could pretend anymore. Until the line we'd crossed wasn't just blurred, it was erased. Afterward, we lay tangled in the sheets, breathing hard, not speaking. His hand rested on my stomach, thumb tracing slow circles. I stared at the ceiling, heart pounding, wondering how long we could keep pretending this was just a fling. How long before Melanie found out? How long before the guilt finally won? But right then, with his warmth still inside me and his heartbeat against my side, I didn't care about tomorrow. I just wanted tonight.